Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be showing you every dinner I made this week for my family, and I'm also going to be sharing an easy tip to take the decision fatigue out of your meal planning. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Go ahead and hit the like button and let's get into it. So, if you are like me, sometimes dinner time can come around and you have no idea what to make, and then all of the options of what to make can just be overwhelming. And that results in decision fatigue. But at the same time, rigid meal planning can feel like a lot and can feel like it takes like a lot of extra time. And I just know in my experience, a lot of the time it doesn't work out because maybe we'll need one of the ingredients that I bought for one meal and then I can't make it, or maybe my husband will eat something and not realize it was for a certain meal. So I really like this method of meal planning. Basically what it is, I'm sure you've heard of it or even tried it yourself before because it's not that crazy, but you just assign a meal or a category to each day of the week. So for example, you could say Mondays are spaghetti and meatballs. Very common is Tuesdays is Taco Tuesday, so we do that in our home. Doing this just makes it to where it limits down all of the options to a specific category or a specific meal, and it just takes all of the decision fatigue out of it. For example, even on Saturdays, I like to do soups, and that just narrows it down so much to where in my mind I'm like, okay, I'm making soup, and it just takes a lot of the decision making out of it. So I'm gonna share what our categories are for the week. Today is Monday. For Monday and Thursday, my category is basically to just keep it simple. Just focus on having a meat and a carb. People have pointed out before that I don't seem to have many vegetables. I do have some vegetables, but that's probably a fair observation. We've just learned that a lot of vegetables do not sit well in our bodies. It's not that we don't like vegetables. I actually love vegetables. It's just, I just notice a lot of them just do not make me feel good. And then also we've gone down many rabbit trails of like carnivore and keto, and I feel like we've kind of dabbled in a lot of the different diets, and we've seen where there's a lot of people that say vegetables are horrible for you and you shouldn't have them. There's people that say you should be having a ton of vegetables, and then there's people that say only have them raw and only have them cooked. Vegetables are just not our top priority. I would say our top priority is just making sure we're getting enough protein and that we're eating whole foods. And those are like my two most important things I look for. So back to today's meal. Today's Monday, so we're doing protein and carb. I am currently doing an elimination diet, so I tried to make it where I could have it too. I made like a teriyaki chicken with coconut aminos instead of soy. And then for the carb, I was going to do rice, but I forgot that I had these like rice noodles, so I did that instead, which fast forward to the future, I have since learned that I wasn't supposed to be eating rice on this elimination diet, so I failed this day anyways. I've been doing the elimination diet for a month now. I'll link it in the upper right hand corner so you can watch a video on it, but apparently this whole month I've been eating rice and I wasn't supposed to, so now I'm cutting out rice. But anyways, this week I still did not know, so we had rice a couple times this week.
Today, a doctor cut your belly?
Not today. No, not today.
Mom, today I am like breathing. I forgot to have my baby today.
You forgot to?
Can you please figure it out?
You'll see this week that my son Draper is like always around at dinner time to have a conversation with me. Something that's developed over the last few months is that he is just full of questions. He has a million questions, and it's just so cute and hilarious. I will share all of the recipes that I'm using this week down below. For this one, the sauce was really just coconut aminos, honey, salt, garlic powder, ginger, and then I added some arrowroot powder to kind of thicken it up a little bit. And then added that to the chicken breast, and then put that over the rice noodles.
No one. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this food. We thank you for Mama made it. Thank you for all the delicious food that she makes.
I also wanted to include that another thing I do this week that makes mealtime a lot less stressful is obviously having the categories for each day or specific meals for each day takes the decision fatigue out, so that takes stress off my shoulders. But also the meals in of themselves are just simple meals. So like the last one, very simple. Tonight is Tuesday, so we're having Taco Tuesday. Obviously you can do this a million different ways, but really no matter what, it does just come down to a lot of toppings that are really easy to throw together really quick. We were actually having some friends over for dinner this night, and I think I started cooking like 30 minutes before they showed up, and it was totally fine because really all you have to do is like cook the rice, which I started immediately in the Instant Pot, and then like cook beef, and then everything else is just throwing together toppings. So it's really simple. For the rice, I always try to do like a cilantro lime rice. So I just added 4 cups of jasmine rice to the Instant Pot and 4 cups of water, a little bit of oil, salt, and then once it's done cooking, I'll add in some lemon juice and cilantro, and that's that. Then I make corn salsa. This is another thing, guys, with the elimination diet. We just don't have corn a lot, so I had corn and just totally forgot I wasn't supposed to be having corn on the elimination diet. And let me tell you, I suffered the consequences. My stomach was like so firm and painful for about 5 days after. So now I'm probably going to avoid corn as much as I can. But anyways, the corn salsa was delicious. The recipe I use adds lime juice, lemon juice, salt. You can add like red onion, cilantro, lime, jalapeno. I didn't do the red onion or jalapeno because I didn't have it and I wanted it to be kid friendly. And then for the avocado, I always do it really simple. I just mash tons of avocados and add salt and either lime juice or lemon juice. We have not been having any beef lately whatsoever because it's so expensive right now. But this night we ran out of meat and I just had to go to the grocery store close to our house and grab what I could find. And there the ground turkey and beef was like the same price. So I just splurged and got ground beef. To season it, we were actually recently gifted at Christmas this pack of seasonings from a local farm stand. And one of them was like Tex-Mex, and it's really good. So I just used that and put a lot of it all over the beef. And I also added salt. And then in a little bit, I add some arrowroot powder just to thicken it up a little bit. Typically when you get like taco seasoning mixes, they have some type of like thickener. So I just did that myself. Now I'm just doing some final touches to everything before my friends arrive. I added some lime juice to the beef. I added more lime juice to the cilantro lime rice. I added spoons to all of the dishes. I feel like every time I forget to add a spoon or tongs or something. This time I forgot to add tongs for the lettuce. So every time. It was fine though. But yes, I also cut lettuce to have if people want to do salads. That's my preferred method. And then got out the plates and forks and napkins. And I also opened the chips. I got 2 chip options because one was corn-free and like fit everything on my diet. And then the other was just chips, you know? So for a typical Wednesday, our category is our church small group. So our small group has dinner together, and each week you're assigned to bring something like a fruit or bread or side or the main. Tonight I was the main, and I don't typically do this, but honestly it was so nice. I just got a giant bag of meatballs from Costco, and then I got marinara sauce from Costco, and I literally just put them together and brought them. So I just baked the meatballs, added the sauce afterwards, and then let it sit in my oven warm while I got ready. And honestly, it was really nice. I do typically want to do everything from scratch and homemade, but in a pinch, this was actually really nice. Maybe I'm being converted away from cooking from scratch. Not really, but I'm not opposed to doing this again. I'm skipping Thursday because Thursday is the same as Monday, just protein, carb. Friday night, we do pizza night. Obviously, I can't have pizza right now. Very sad. But my children and my husband were very excited. We also did a movie, and my daughter has listened to the book of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe probably more than a dozen times, but she's never seen the movie because I wasn't sure if it would be scary for her. But I decided to test it, and we all ended up watching it together, and everyone loved it, and no one was scared. Honestly, after seeing, if you've seen the David movie, I felt like the scenes with Goliath were really scary. So after seeing that, I was like, they could probably handle Narnia. For the pizza crust, I'll share the recipe down below like everything else. I did a mix of hard red and kamut grain, and then I added water, honey, yeast. This is not sourdough, just because I didn't prepare enough in advance. And then I let it sit for about 30 minutes. When you are doing fresh milled pizza and you're not sifting or adding any all-purpose flour, it is just going to be like, it's not going to be a light, fluffy pizza. But it is still delicious. Everyone in my family is happy with it. I've shared before, maybe people are like, what? That's crazy. But I literally just take tomato sauce from Costco and put it on as the pizza sauce. We all feel like it tastes great. I probably could make it a little better and add seasonings and make like an actual pizza sauce, but it's so simple this way, and my family loves it this way, so I'm like, why change it? Then I just add tons of mozzarella. We didn't really have like pepperoni or any type of toppings tonight, so I just kept it simple with cheese, and that's honestly my children's preference. I've also had a pizza stone preheating in the oven this whole time. And then I just bake it around 500 on a pizza stone until the cheese is browned and bubbly. Today is Saturday, and on Saturday, I like to just make a big pot of soup for us to eat on for lunch and dinner. And then also just eat up any leftovers we have, because we usually do have leftovers. This soup is one that's approved for my elimination diet, but it's actually one that I've loved prior. I did tweak it a little bit. So typically it's like a sausage, sweet potato soup with coconut milk. Instead of sausage, I did ground turkey just to fit what I'm doing better, but it honestly tasted so good. Definitely better with sausage, but still really great with just ground turkey. So I'm just adding the ground turkey. I added onion, carrots, and then a lot of sweet potato. I feel like I usually do a lot more than the recipe calls for. And then I added garlic powder, salt, pepper, sage, and paprika. I added 4 cups of bone broth, and then I just let it simmer on the stove until the sweet potatoes were fork tender. Then once the sweet potatoes were soft enough, I added a can of coconut milk, and this just makes it so creamy. And my sister-in-law hates coconut, but I really do not think you can taste the coconut at all. So if you're like my sister-in-law, I really don't think you can taste the coconut at all. Also, for your category days, it helps if you have a list of different recipes you like to use. So for example, on Saturdays, since it's soup day, to have a list of my favorite soup recipes can be really helpful. Today is Sunday. It's not actually Sunday. I just filmed this on Friday because I didn't want to have to film on Sunday. So I filmed this the same day I did pizza. But it is the Instant Pot day. So I like to, if time permits, do some kind of dump and go Instant Pot recipe so it's ready when we're back from church. I just added carrot, celery, onion, and then you add rice, garlic powder, salt, chicken, bone broth, water, and you can also add like Parmesan. There's a lot of different recipes like this. I just tried to do it to accompany my diet, but of course I didn't realize that I can't have rice. It's very simple, but really yummy. And that's the end of this video. I hope it gave you some simple inspiration to make dinner time easier and simpler for you. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I post videos every Tuesday and Thursday. I'll see you in the next one.